record on this computer. Okay, so good morning. That was a great talk about whether you'd rather go be in the past or the future. It is Wednesday, November 30th. And as I was just saying, we don't have a ton due today. And so this morning, we're not going to have a very long session. And I'm just going to give you some time to work together in breakout rooms if you want on assignments. I think today you have the quiz for the language arts due. So that's 3.05. And then you're also still working on your opinion-based essay. Yesterday, we finished, hopefully, our third body paragraph in class. I'm going to be going through my Google Docs and making sure that all of you have shared your Google Doc with me. I think most of you guys who are here, I've seen your essays, and I know that you're on track, which is great. Tomorrow, we'll do the conclusion together or talk about it. And then next week, we'll do some revising and editing, even though I think today in the lesson in 3.05, they did talk about like how to add information. And then they're going to talk a little bit about revising and editing. So you can start on that stuff ahead of time. Yeah.
Can I tell a riddle?
What's that?
Can I tell a riddle?
In a minute. Okay. Remind me. Also, Christian, you had your poem. If you're ready, you can remind me of that in a minute too. Okay. So, so that's what's going on with language arts today. And then today in math, you have to submit your assignment, digital quotients. I went through that strategy yesterday. I think it's a pretty cool strategy for giant numbers and long division instead of the old algorithm because you use facts that you know really well. The only trick with it is you do need to know your math facts. And so if you aren't real clear on your math facts, today's a great day to go on to something and practice those either through Dreambox or something else. Need to be doing that. By today, you should have finished 2 Dreambox lessons after today. And then we have our SRG book club at 10:30. The writing lesson, again, we're not really doing a big lesson today. We're just adding and making sure we have our 3 body paragraphs done, adding details. Yesterday, we talked about adding a mini story. And then this afternoon, we're going to build our catapult. I showed the kids who came yesterday afternoon the materials that they would need. I'm just going to show you guys again where that is so that you can find it and have the materials ready this afternoon if you want to join us to build a catapult. So here it is in science. And if you go to mod 6, we are in 6.05. I think, is that correct? Yeah, 6.05. And I think it's on page, well, you can just go to the end of the unit and look at the worksheet because I think it has everything on it. But actually, I think it's on page 6 or something here. Let's look. Force and mass. Yeah, building a catapult. So on this page, it shows you the materials that you need. I was explaining that I don't have these exact materials, but I'm going to try to come up with something that would work. So use your design tech skills to come up with something. I'm not even sure I have rubber bands, but I'll go look. Plastic spoons, some way to have something that's springy that you could shoot off. So we're going to build a catapult today. The whole idea, it doesn't have to be these materials, but the whole idea is you have something you can stretch down and let go of, and it'll fling. Okay? Yeah, Nora.
Are we gonna do it all together, like make the catapult all together, or are we gonna
I thought we'd do it together. If you want to work on yours ahead of time, you can always do it ahead of time.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Kainoa?
Why can't we just put a plastic spoon against the end of a table and then fling it?
And would it work?
I think so. I've tried it many times.
Yeah, like where you hold it on the table and just pull down. Absolutely. And if you want to do that for yours, that's fine. I think we have to be creative because we're not together and I can't provide you the materials. So you're going to have to be creative with what you have. Use what you have. Okay. I'm not even sure I have a plastic spoon. So I'm going to have to find something that'll bend a little bit to provide that fling. Okay. So that's kind of it. I'm going to stay on here to answer questions. I'm also going to be looking through and checking that I have your digital versions of your essays to make sure I can look at that. And other than that, I'm going to set up.
Can I tell a riddle first?
Yeah, tell your riddle right now while I'm setting up breakout rooms. And then you can choose to work together or on your own in the breakout rooms on whatever you need to work on, or you can go do a Dreambox lesson and get some things done early today. Go ahead with your riddle, Liam.
I go all around the world, but never leave a corner. What am I?
Rocket ship.
You never leave a corner?
Yeah.
But you go
Plane.
all around the world, but you never leave a corner.
Plane.
No, it's not plane.
But there's planes around the world, and they don't leave a corner.
No, incorrect.
What?
I think it's going to be something that is in a corner. What's in a corner?
Oh. I know it.
I go all around the world, but I don't leave a corner.
A satellite. A satellite.
Incorrect.
Look at all the
What?
guesses in the chat. We have a record, a plane, wind, air, gravity.
What
None of those are correct.
All right, what is it?
A stamp.
What's the widow again?
Nora always says mole.
I don't know. I feel like moles and everything.
Go ahead, Liam.
What was the riddle? I got kicked.
Can you say what the widow was?
Say it again, please, because the people got kicked out.
I go all around the world, but never leave a corner. What am I?
The moon. Leave a corner?
The equator?
Moon. Wait, did he say corner? Did he say corner?
Corner. I never leave a corner.
Oh, I thought he said quarter.
No, corner.
What about a corner itself?
It says the moon, a bus. I think we give up.
No. I don't give up.
You don't give up?
No. I always get this. I always get riddles. Okay, even if I have to do it.
So get it.
Okay. Wait a minute. Say it again, Leo. I need you to pronounce it correctly because I can't. I thought corner was
What's in
quarter.
the corner, though?
A stamp?
I go all around the world,
Oh, water.
but never leave a corner.
Water.
A stamp?
Water.
No, but it is not water. Ding ding.
The key on a map.
I don't know.
Okay, tell us.
A stamp?
World.
The
Wait,
world.
Penelope, what did you say?
A postage stamp?
A postage stamp.
That is super close. I mean, it is correct. It's a stamp.
It's a
It's a
stamp. Oh, that's good. I know.
Wait.
Did you Google that?
Oh yeah, he
Google
Googled that.
that. You did
No.
Google it.
No, it didn't.
Oh,
No,
Peter.
Cheetah, pumpkin eater.
All right, good one. And how about you, Christian? Are you ready to recite your poem?
I did.
No? Okay, not yet. All right, so the breakout rooms are open. You can go there. You can stay with me here and chat. But
Laura.
you have about 25 minutes before special. So you have a little extra time this morning. You could go do a
No.
dream box lesson.
Laura,
What?
go to room 3.
Okay.
You can also put things in chat asking people to go to certain rooms if you want.
Can I should I start on my flex week essay because I already know what I'm going to do it on?
Let's actually, no, Lauren, let's you and I go to room. Let's find a room and go to a room and work on your essay a little bit. Does that work?
13.
Sure. Room 13. Let's,
Okay.
oops, I just joined the wrong one, I think. Room 13. Here it is. Yay.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm bringing up your essay to make sure I've got it. Okay.
I think I should add more because the paragraphs are kind of short.
Well, actually, what I was concerned about what I read it the first time was the organization, not the content, just making sure it was really clear. Oh, this isn't it, though. This is narrative. Sorry.
I just shared it this morning, which is why I was confused.
Lauren La, here we go.
What did I call it? I just called
Yeah, I'm not.
I just called it ancient history.
Oh,
That's-
okay. That's why I was like, I don't see it. Okay, so I'm going to change your title to opinion essay.
Okay.
Because it's not a story. It's not a, oh, I don't think that I have, I don't think I have editing.
Do you want me to just share my screen?
No, I can see it, but you've put it on a setting where I can't edit it at all. So if you
Oh,
go to
okay.
your
I'll
share
share it.
settings, you can change it and make me an editor. That would be helpful.
Okay.
And then I can refresh my screen and it should be okay. Okay, let's see here. Here we go.
I
Opinion
did most of this morning.
essay. Okay, so here's the thing. The structure of an opinion essay is very, very clear. And yours is not in the correct structure. So if you remember when we wrote the ice cream essay, it goes like this.
Yeah.
There's a hook, like,
Yeah. Which is this, right?
so yeah, like history is important to learn because if you don't know the past, it's going to be hard to see the future. Well, that's not really a hook. That's kind of a reason, right? But that could be your hook. But then you say your statement really clearly, your opinion, which your opinion is that history is important to learn, right? I think this is your big thesis right here.
Should I bold it?
History is important to learn. No, you shouldn't bold it, but it shouldn't be the first thing in your essay. That should become later. The first thing in your essay should be your little hook, right? What was it like in ancient times would be a great hook right here. So if I were you, I would take this history is important to learn and put it down later after that. And I would start with, and this because if you don't know the past, it's going to be hard to know the future. That would be your first reason. So I would start with what was it like in ancient times, like a question. Well, it wasn't like you thought it would be like this. I don't think that this is necessary. This is like informing me about the ancient past, but I would take that out. And I'm doing edits, but if you want to fix it, you can go up to the top and it'll open the version history and you can put it back. So what was it like in ancient times? And then you go to this. History is important to learn for many reasons. There. Now you list them. My first reason is because if you don't know the past, it's going to be hard to see the future. What are your other two reasons? And then
sorry.
that's okay. So Lauren, this is going to be your first body paragraph in a minute.
Yeah.
Actually write your whole paragraph about this. And then you're going to have your two other reasons. So what's your second reason?
Okay, I'm gonna look at the conclusion because
It is important to learn is because or is that why is it also important to learn? So this is where you needed to come up with 3 clear reasons. So your first one is that if you don't know the past, it's hard to see the future. What's your second reason?
it can help us make decisions.
Okay. It can, is that
You
it
can look back.
help us make better decisions? I think that's great.
Okay.
And finally, comma, what's the last reason you think history is important to learn? Don't you think it's interesting?
yes, it is. I love it.
It is super interesting. Okay, great. Now these become your 3 body paragraphs. You keep this in. History is important to learn for many reasons. That is in all 3 of your body paragraphs. So we're going to just copy it here twice more. And these are your 3 body paragraphs. I'm just going to put 1, 2, and 3 for now, and then you're going to take that off later. Okay.
Okay.
You'll take these numbers off, but I just want you to be clear on the body paragraphs. And then the other thing you have to put in each one. So the first one has the first reason. The second one has my second reason, and you're going to just copy it and paste it. Okay. And the third one, finally, history is super interesting. You're going to put here.
Wait, I only have 2 body paragraphs. Oh, for some reason I thought, wait, I was
Yeah, but you're going to have to, what I want you to do with all this information you have down here is decide where it goes or if it even fits in this essay. Because I think you didn't quite get the idea that this isn't an essay about history. This is an essay about why history is important to learn. Okay.
yes,
So these are your
that's
3
what I have
body
in there.
paragraphs. In your introduction, you say your hook right here.
Mhm.
Then you say your thesis or your main controlling thing. Then you list your 3 reasons, and that's all you do in your introduction. Then you start on your first body paragraph. History is important to learn for many reasons. My first reason is because if you don't know the past, it's going to be hard to see the future. So you're going to want to go down here. And what part of this is about seeing the future? Did you have anything about seeing the future in here?
No. Well,
Okay.
yeah, it says modern.
Yeah. Do you see how you didn't really stay on topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was concerned about. So what would you say is what you mean by that? So here you want to put at least 3, you want to add 3 pieces of proof or evidence to prove that history helps us see the future. You're going to erase all these words that I'm adding right now. I'm just
Yeah.
putting them in to remind you. So I'm going to put this in. In fact, I'll even just make it red so you remember it. You're going to add 3 pieces of proof. This could be, it could be an explanation, right? Like you
Mhm.
could say, what I mean
Yes.
by this is, and you could tell us. Or it could be an example. For
Okay.
example, I learned about, like, what's something in the past you learned about that helps you understand what's going on, maybe in Ukraine right now?
Yeah.
I learned about the history of imperialism. Do you know what imperialism is?
Yeah. I think.
Where one country tries to
Right.
take over another, and it helps me see what is happening now in Ukraine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by learning about the history of imperialism, you understand why Russia is trying to expand. So Russia used to be a lot bigger. It used to have a lot of more space, and they want to do that again. That's part of what Putin wants. So understanding history helps you understand the future there. And then the other thing that you can use an explanation, right? That's one piece of evidence. You can use an example. You can use a mini story, which is what we practiced
mini story.
yesterday. Although on your topic, a mini story would be hard, but a mini story could be like,
I feel like
I was confused about what's going on in the war, so I opened up a book and I read about history, and it helped me understand the future or see the future. The last thing you can use is a fact to help support your evidence, okay? So these are all the ways you support it, but you need to add 3 pieces of proof, at least 3 sentences here for this sentence. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to add the same thing for the next reason here, and it's going to be all about making decisions.
I think what I might look up on Google later, because I obviously used a bit of Google, is people or war like tacticians who looked back, so that I can put that in.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. And then finally, the super interesting one will be easy for you because you were very interested in that. So you can just use your own examples of why it's super interesting. And then the final thing in this essay will be a conclusion. And the conclusion is also very formal. It's very much like the introduction. You will restate your thesis, which is that learning history is important, and your 3 reasons. So it's like you're reminding people of them. And then you're going to leave your reader with advice. Now that they've read your essay, what should they do? And obviously in yours, you're going to tell them they should study history, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last thing you'll write, and we're going to work on that on Friday. So you're not behind on that, but you are a little bit behind on these other things because you need to go back and add to these. Okay. So does that make more sense, Lauren?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a very different piece of writing because you're not really informing anybody anything about history. You're not teaching them about history. What you're trying to do is convince them or persuade them that learning history is important. And you can use some evidence to do that, but you have to stay on topic. And your topic is why learning history is important. Okay? All right. So I'm going to leave this here. You feel free to erase all my red writing on it when you're ready, but I would leave it there for a minute just to remind yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Why don't you stay here, and I'm going to go back to the main room, and you can